Jay from Headrush. Jay, introduce yourself. Everybody knows you, but...
Hi, I'm Jay Ingleston. Currently work for Cage Wars. I work for Headrush brand clothing, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm MMA, what? Tried and true. You want to say that? I don't know.
yeah, you've been around the fight game for a long time.
Very long time.
Even before it was, you know, I want to say underground almost.
Very underground.
You know, and that's what you were, where you started at. You know, as sanctioning is today, they probably would have had a fit of what you guys used to do, and you know, you'd fight probably more than one fight in a night. And,
oh, absolutely.
You know,
my first fight was April, I want to say 19th, 2008 in Burlington, Vermont, and it was basically pro rules. There was elbows, there was knees, all the way up until I retired in 09. I think even after that, they were still using pro rules.
Right.
I know my last fight, my nose got broken pretty bad, so.
So that was the end of it, huh?
Yeah, and I had, my daughter was 3 months old, and
right.
I was just like,
yeah,
gotta
be here for the daughter, gotta pay the bills. So yeah, totally understandable, and that's what a lot of people don't realize. What amateurs do have a day job.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, you know, it's not paying the bills.
Yep.
And but you've been around not just as a fighter. Now we remember for a while there you had Cage Combat.
Yep.
What happened there, if you don't mind us asking?
It's just one of them deals where things weren't going the way they should be in my mind, and like any relationship with another person who shall remain nameless, it wasn't working out, and I needed a change.
Okay.
It wasn't a toxic situation, but it was getting there, and I knew months before that I needed to do something different. And Cage Wars wasn't even in my vocabulary then. I mean, I still had a little relationship with Tim, but we hadn't really talked that much. And then Ed Anthony's the one that said, "Hey, you should probably talk to Tim." And at first I was like, "Nah, I don't really." And I got an offer to start my own promotion, which not a lot of people know that.
Oh, wow.
And it was for good money. There was going to be a money backer and stuff. And I was like, you know what? You know, I've done everything in this business wise, as I've fought, I've cornered, I've coached. I was the guy in the back telling guys to go up to the cage. I've refereed a couple fights. I've judged over 100 fights.
Wow.
And I was in a place where it's like I left being a full-time coach. I did that as a job for almost 10 years, and then I was kind of in this like weird place, and I'm like, what do I do?
Right.
And my daughter was actually the one that said, "Are you going to train?" Because I've been training her since she was little. I said, I don't know. Well, what about doing another show? And finally, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna reach out to Tim, and
right.
We talked and had a love lunch, we call it, and everything was good and
nice. Now you spoke of your daughter. Now your daughter seems like she comes with a lot of wisdom and knows her dad, obviously.
Oh,
How
absolutely.
old is your daughter?
My daughter is 9.5.
Wow.
And she was born in the gym. I mean, Matt can attest to it. He's seen her whole life. She has a very good, like, she's been to so many shows, like, and I look at it this way, like, if I was her age and I see, like, she got to hang out with Bobby Lashley, and King Mo is one of my best friends now, so they talk on a daily sometimes, right. And like, she understands the business, so she grows up and wants to be in the business. She already has a very good outlook on it, and
that's great.
she knows what fighters not to mess with during shows, and she sat at the commentator's table before. She sat at the ring bell, all that stuff. So
right. So she's been around the cage.
She's grown into the business. Yeah. She was
basically
born in the gym, and I've got pictures of her in boxing gloves when she was a year old, all the way up to 3, 4, 5. And for her birthday last year, she wanted new boxing gloves.
That's great. That is great. Now, speaking of boxing gloves and stuff, I know Headrush doesn't. I don't think they do boxing gloves, right? But what's your relationship with Headrush?
Headrush started out as a sponsor of mine when I taught up at Iron Fist MMA. I went to school with a girl named Julie, and her brother-in-law was running the American branch of Headrush. He was the president, and she kind of introduced us, and I went up, and Headrush is at the top of the only basically skyscraper in Glens Falls, the Travelers Building. Went up there, and basically I got a sponsorship where I was a coach, and they just gave me free clothes. So I've just been wearing the clothes, and that was in 2010. So I'm going on 8 years, and then almost 2 years ago, they were looking for people to work in the store and then do onlines and all that stuff, and I got a job, so now I work for them, and I'm doing the onlines, some of their sponsorship stuff. Still got a couple things we need to iron out, but That's what I do.
Nice. Now, what do you actually do for Cage Wars? If you know, is it
Fighter relations? Basically, I help Chris Campy and that. Tim needs help. I do that.
Okay.
Basically, all like not the stressful stuff, but if it needs to be stressful, I've already done it. So
right?
it's not like I'm jumping into something.
Sure, you've been there.
I've been there, done that. And people who have no idea about sanctioning, we self-sanction in Cage Combat our own shows, and before that we had Full Force Fighting. I did all that myself. So to have a sanctioned body come and to do the stuff that I don't have to do anymore is a breath of fresh air.
Right.
That's the most tedious, I don't want to say horrible job. It's not that horrible, but you're dealing with grown men who have an agenda that they want to get taken care of, and you got to be the guy that ropes them all together. Not like, used to say growing up babysitter. Again, Matt Boyce will attest to that. But trying to get everybody corralled, and
sure.
I'd be running around. But sanctioning has its downs and its ups. There's more ups right now than there in the beginning. There was a lot of downs. But like I said, I used to do all that stuff myself. Wow. So to just come into Cage Wars and not have a relaxed atmosphere, but to do whatever they need me to do.
Sure.
Like if Chris has to go do something, he wants me to check fighters, and I can do that.
Right.
If they want me to follow this fighter around, make sure he's good. This guy needs a hotel room, go do that. And
right.
I don't mind doing that stuff.
Sure.
I've done and I'm not a type of person to toot my own horn, but I've done every aspect of this
right.
business. And it's not, I don't consider it a job. I never consider it a job. It's something I love to do. It's like second nature to me. So.
And starting as a fighter,
it's
huge difference.
It's a huge difference.
You know, not just somebody that's never fought before.
Because I can sympathize, and I know what these guys are going through. Before if you get a younger fighter, I don't really know, and you can tell he ain't really trained. He's not really I can go talk to that guy and say, listen, just relax. And I've done it hundreds of times. I mean, I've been at fight shows where they know, oh, that's Jay. He's been around forever. Hey, can you corner this guy? Sure, I did it at the last fight. Did it before. Like, I don't mind doing that stuff,
right.
man. That's the stuff I love, and that gives me more joy than fighting ever did.
Right.
Because fighting was amazing, and I can say I fought in front of 2,000 people, but that's younger me, and
sure.
I'm in my 40s now. This just relaxed, man.
Yep, getting into almost old guy mode.
Old guy mode.
Relax,
I'm not training anymore, even
right.
though I need to start training again because my body is now
sure.
my body's healed. My mind is even better.
That's great. That's awesome. And we know you from being around.
Yep.
From Cage Combat,
yep.
Even before you had Cage Combat,
yep.
fighting and such.
Yep.
And you've always been great to us, and always welcomed us with open arms. Even when we covered one of your shows up in Lake George, I mean, you gave us run of the place,
yep.
and it was great. And we got a lot of experience. You introduced us to King Mo, and
mm-hmm.
he's a great individual.
Yep.
And it's good to see when we seen Jay go into Cage Wars. Cage Wars always was a family to us. We had some issues, but
mm-hmm.
Everybody has issues
Absolutely.
in this game.
Absolutely.
And that's just part of this game. And we're happy to be making our comeback, and we're happy to have you as a guest, immediately, and Matt Boyce.
I'm glad to have you guys back, man.
It's
one of the things you look around at shows and you see certain people that you know, and then you're like,
yeah,
I do miss Warriors.
Right. And and what I like about Cage Wars now is the sanctioning. Yes, we had some problems with USMTA as well, but the safety. That's what we've always been concerned
Absolutely.
with. That was our paramount thing, the safety of the fighters, of getting up the next day to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Because these guys have to work. Having insurance, so if they do break their hand during a
mm-hmm.
fight, they have something to fall back on. And with
yep.
Jay Ingleston, and I mean, that's just a great team. It seems like you guys have
Absolutely.
now, and we're great to have you.
It's like a big family.
Yeah.
We've all come into this business, which not everybody knows the business. So outsiders just think it's a bunch of people punching each other in the face, and then you go home and you get drunk, stuff like that. But we take it seriously, and we have fun at what we do. And if we didn't, I wouldn't be sitting here. You wouldn't be sitting
right.
here. Matt would be eating hot dogs.
Right. Sure. Hey, I think that's what we're stopping for. But like you say, people don't realize what it takes to even put on a promotion, especially now as big as Cage Wars has become. And the fighters. Yep. They don't realize, they think the fighters are just coming in off
yep.
the street, they have a grudge match, and they're putting them in the cage,
yep.
and that's not it. There's a lot of time, there's a lot of, sacrifices.
Weight cutting. I
yes.
remember my last fight, my first fight was at 185, my last two, we're at 55, and I cut 21 pounds in 2 days. The most miserable prick on the planet.
Oh, I could imagine.
I went out to eat with my girlfriend's family, and we went to Applebee's. I don't even know why I went in there. And I remember eating lettuce with a little bit of Italian dressing on it. So, again, I understand what.
Right.
If I see a guy crabby and he's pissy and stuff and he's cutting weight, I totally understand that.
Sure.
You'll get some people who are like, wow, he's a dick. No, he's doing what he should be doing, because if he ain't miserable,
right, there's something going
there's
on.
something going on.
Yeah. But you know, it's great having you, and thank you for taking your time with us.
Absolutely.
And,
It's great to see you guys back.
We'll definitely see you at Cage Wars. We'll see you around. And,
Absolutely.
thank you, sir.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.